Hi guys, I thought I'd show you what I'm finding here in my yard. These guys right here are milkweed beetles. There's another one right there. Some people get really upset about them. I think they're rather cute. I like the way they have those long curly antennae. Wish it would focus a little bit better here. Now these guys are beetles, not bugs. These little guys are going to chew, whereas the the bug has a piercing mouth part that will, right Ted? They're always doing that. So the beetle chews and the bug will have a little mouth part that pierces the leaf, and let's see if I can get that focus there. Sucks the juices out of the leaf. There we go. So I found that, and I'm going to show you what else I found here. This is pretty cool over here. So this is the underside of a sunflower leaf. And I found a whole bunch of ants right here. And they are tending to some aphids. They're kind of tickling them a little bit, and that gets them producing honeydew, which is sweet. So they're being very mindful of these guys right here. There's lots of different kinds of aphids. Let me see if I can find over here on my world milkweed. Aha, right here. Now those are oleander aphids. They're yellow. You can see a lot of them on there. Again, I don't really mind the things that are in the yard. I know that they feed something. And I've got some Joe Pye weed up there that's getting ready to bloom. Those are always a butterfly favorite. It's interesting, I've planted the world milkweed, and you can see it's whorled because of the way the leaves go all the way around the stem. But it's never really been a favorite of the monarch butterflies in my yard. There's some pretty, I like these white ones here. Those are really pretty. But I like this time of year when the purples and the yellows really start to become prevalent. That's one of my favorites. Come over here, I'll show you what I got. And it's nice enough, again, that the turtles are out. Look at that big frog. And then the fish in the pond. I have this going across it because a number of years ago I had a great blue heron that would come down and eat my fish. You can see the fish see me and they know that it's going to be time to eat real soon. So they're all coming up here. But I put this kind of screen over the top so that I could protect the fish from the heron. I love the sound of water. I've got lots of milkweed over here. Some lilies. And this interesting plant right here, it gets pretty tall. It gets about 5 or 6 feet tall. And it's called lovage. And I wish you guys could smell it. It smells just like celery, and you can use it like celery. You know, it's been interesting too, when I check the milkweed, I check the old flower buds. Milkweed has really large sticky pollen sacs, and the bees, when they're pollinating it, will sometimes, oh look, there's a little tiny jumping spider right there too. Can you see it? They'll get the pollen sac stuck on their feet, and it'll look like they're wearing yellow shoes. And sometimes they get stuck in the milkweed and they die. So I've actually rescued a few bees from being stuck in milkweed before. You see, and then there's so once the flower's been pollinated, then these seed pods will start to form. And if you don't want to have a whole bunch of milkweed in your yard, you just simply take those off, and it won't spread the seeds that way. And I'm not interested in raising a whole bunch. Oh, look what I got right there. Can you guys see that? That is a monarch egg right there. Can you see it? So hopefully we'll get a few more caterpillars. I found actually quite a few of them today. Here we got another little, you know, that milkweed bug just dropped, and that's actually one of their defenses, is to just drop. There's a few other insects that will do that, namely Japanese beetles. That's what makes them easy to get, because you can just walk around with a cup of soapy water and you just put it under where the beetle is and tap, and they will just drop right into it. Hey Laura, hey Ted, hey Nancy. Doing a little bit of a garden tour. Oh, there's a lot of weeds. There's turtles. Here's my Tilly girl. Last year, well, past couple of years ago, I lost my ash tree to emerald ash borer, and I planted a couple of red buds, and last year they were doing well, but this winter was extremely harsh on them, and I thought I lost them, so I cut it down, and then lo and behold, I've got this one coming from the root, so I'm really excited about that. Have you guys ever really looked at a coneflower? They are just so beautiful. They have that red tips and that orange and yellow. It just looks like fire. These are gorgeous. Here's my pear tree, and I think it does alternate years. This year I don't have any pears whatsoever, but last year I had probably 40 on it. And then here's my raspberry patch. I was just teaching Doug how to find a good raspberry today. I told him, if you pick it and you look down the middle of it, if it's liquid in there, pitch it, because there's a little worm in it. If there's not, pop it in your mouth. And in that one goes. Raspberries are some of my favorites. And then here we've got some black-eyed Susans. More milkweed, and more milkweed, and more milkweed, and more milkweed. Because I do a number of classes and talks about butterflies, I do raise a number of monarchs so that I can take them to the classes. But only raise as many monarchs as you've got food for, because that's the worst, is I see people always running out of milkweed and then panicking. And there's even like groups that are just for getting milkweed. And another one of my favorites is back here. Not only do I like raspberries, I love strawberries, and I love rhubarb. I love that tartness. And believe it or not, yesterday I just had somebody deliver to me 7 tomato hornworms that they found on their plants. And they said, who wants them? And of course I said, I do, because I do have a number of tomato plants, but then I also have some volunteers. So I can easily sacrifice a few leaves, actually a lot of leaves, to feed those hungry caterpillars, because one day they will become sphinx moths, which are also known as hummingbird moths. So this is just an absolutely lovely, lovely night to be outside. Oops, there's a stray cat. I call that one Max. He comes by and visits frequently. I never used to really like hosta flowers, but then when I started thinking of them as little fairy hats, they kind of got cute. My grandkids will put them on top of little fairies too. So here we have a little hosta flower. Doesn't it look like a little hat? Stick it right on her. Up. There we go. See? Little fairy hat. So anyway, that's tonight. A beautiful night to be outside. It was great seeing you guys. Yep, Max already skedaddled over to the next yard, I think. I know, what weeds? My husband was killing me the other night. We were at St. James Farm, and we were doing some photos, and he told the girls, oh, just go stand over here by these weeds. And I'm like, they are not weeds. It's a prairie. So that was a lot of fun. Anyway, I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.